Hey guys, Tyler here. I've made several videos on this channel mapping the routes of various starship captains in Star Trek, including Kirk, Picard, Janeway, Archer, and more. But one ship I haven't covered yet is the USS Cerritos from Lower Decks. A member of the California class, the Cerritos' role as a support ship sees her primarily tasked with missions like second contacts and other relatively low-priority assignments. But being the hero ship of a Trek series, she does go on to gain a notable service record under the command of Captain Carol Freeman. While Lower Decks does revisit lots of places previously established in canon, they naturally explore strange new worlds as well. So I initially thought that mapping the Cerritos' route was going to be exceedingly difficult, but in fact it actually ended up being a lot easier than I expected. In some ways more straightforward than some of my previous mapping videos. Today I'd like to chart Freeman's route through the Alpha and Beta quadrants, using supplementary materials like Star Trek star charts and stellar cartography, the Starfleet reference library, and the fan website StarTrekMap.com as reference sources. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Architects of Fate. Hey, are you looking to build an adventure with friends? Well, I just might have the place for you. Architects of Fate is a Twitch channel that specializes in tabletop RPGs with an emphasis on interactive gameplay and storytelling, all for free. Just by jumping into chat, you can make the lives of the game master and players easier or harder. It's up to you. Not only do Architects of Fate play well-known RPGs like 5th edition D&D and Cyberpunk, but they also play less common RPGs like Star Trek, Star Wars, Conan, Aliens, The Expanse, Fallout, and more, plus totally original games like Solar Patrol, and Bad Horse's Evil League of Evil with a two-headed DM. Architects of Fate even has community game nights with chat. They're always looking for new games to share with each other and invite you to play alongside them. The goal of each stream is to make sure every viewer and player gets their chance to contribute and shine. If you like Star Trek, check out Bajor Rising on Mondays, featuring an ad hoc team of junior officers on the Galaxy-class USS Odyssey. Players embark on official and classified missions in support of Bajoran independence during the Cardassian occupation. They discover the prophets may not be mythical, and another greater enemy may have plans for the sector. Join in to help weave tales of covert operations, moral dilemmas, and the struggle for freedom. There's also Cookie Trek, streaming on Fridays. Hosts and chat collaborate as a writer's room to craft original, often hilarious, Trek-inspired stories that draw from the entirety of Trek lore. This season explores the exploits of the newly christened Florida-class Starbase, Starbase Tallahassee. Started in early 2019 by Chief Architect Nat Too Shabby, Architects of Fate continues his family's tradition of tabletop gaming and late-night storytelling by sharing the experience with everyone. So, come watch and join a group of players to write new stories and forge new friendships. Architects of Fate can be watched live on Twitch or rewatched on YouTube at the links in the description below. Big thanks to Architects of Fate for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get started. Just as a disclaimer, the locations and the route that I'm drawing for this video are not meant to represent every single place visited by the Cerritos during her service, even during the run of the show. As with other Trek entries, we only see glimpses of life aboard the ship, and the characters frequently reference locations they visited in previous episodes. Plus, the Cerritos has been in service since at least 2379, when the movie Star Trek Nemesis takes place. But while I've tried to incorporate as many stops as I can, this map primarily depicts the planets, starbases, and more visited by the Cerritos that are directly named or seen on screen. I'm also using air date order for the episodes, ignoring star dates, although, as far as I can tell, Lower Decks doesn't really have any episodes out of stardate order anyway. The series' first episode, Second Contact, sees the Cerritos deployed from Douglas Station in the Alpha Quadrant to a second contact mission with the Gallardonian High Council. We don't exactly know where the systems containing Douglas Station or Gallardon are located, but I've chosen to depict them somewhat close to Cardassian space, given locations the ship visits in subsequent episodes. After dealing with a rage virus outbreak on the ship, in Envoys, Mariner and Boimler transport a Klingon general signal to the Federation Embassy on Tilgana 4, while the Cerritos observes the nearby Trivoli pulsar. These systems, also being vaguely near Cardassian space, works well as Episode 3, Temporal Edict, sees the Cerritos diverted from a diplomatic meeting on Cardassia Prime to deliver trinkets to Gelrak 5, presumably in the same general vicinity. Moist Vessel brings the Cerritos back to Douglas Station as she helps tow an ancient generational ship before supporting the controlled demolition of a moon around Mixtus 3 in Cupid's Errant Arrow. Mixtus 3's location is uncertain, though it may be halfway between Douglas Station and Drukmani space, where the Cerritos encounters a salvage ship as Rutherford creates the notorious Badgie AI assistant in Episode 6, Terminal Provocations. It's also hard to say exactly where the Drukmani originate from, though I've placed them in the general vicinity of the Klingon border, near where I placed Kala in my mapping TNG video, as this system is claimed by the Pakleds. We'll talk more about them later. In Episode 7, Much Ado About Boimler, Mariner's Academy friend Amina Ramsey temporarily assumes command of the Cerritos during a repair mission on Quopa, while Tendi accompanies Boimler during his transport to The Farm, a medical spa in the Endochronomus system. These systems' placement is also dubious, though they may be near Klingon space, given Quopa's possible proximity to the events of Lower Decks series finale. We'll obviously get there later too. Veritas sees the recounting of the Cerritos mission near the Romulan neutral zone and rescue of Imperium Magistrate Klar from Romulus, followed by a celebration on his homeworld of Ketuvan Prime. After Mariner works through some issues with her Crisis Point holoprogram in Episode 10, No Small Parts, the Cerritos notably checks up on the planet Beta 3, where the inhabitants have resumed following Landru after the events of the original series episode, The Return of the Archons. Beta 3 is placed by stellar cartography near Cardassian space. Subsequently, the Cerritos responds to a distress call in the Kala system, where they discover the Pakleds have emerged as a significant threat, before being assisted by the arrival of the USS Titan and returning to Douglas Station for repairs. Season 2 opens with Strange Energies, taking place on Apragos, where Ransom obtains godlike powers. Apragos' location is uncertain, though I've chosen to place it near Aldebaran, a nod to Gary Mitchell's development of godlike powers after departing this location in Where No Man Has Gone Before. Apragos may also be between Douglas Station and the Cerritos destination in the next episode. Likely occurring near Zabalian space, Kayshawn, his eyes open, sees the Cerritos assist the Collectors Guild in cataloging the treasures of a recently deceased Zabalian collector. Zybel is actually a real star, also called Zeta Eridani, and is 110 light-years away. Episode 3 will always have Tom Paris, sees the Cerritos visited by Tom Paris, while Mariner and Tendi retrieve a family heirloom for Dr. Ta'ana from Quailor 2, near the Romulan neutral zone. Episode 4, Mugato Gamato, takes the Cerritos to Frylon 4, whose location we don't exactly know, but may be somewhat near Ferengi space given the presence of Ferengi on the planet. It also notably has Mugatos, the Gamato being native to the planet Neural in the Zeta Boötis system, 176 light-years away. Episode 5, An Embarrassment of Duplers, sees the Cerritos escort a Dupler dignitary to Starbase 25, which has a canon location near the space of the First Federation from TOS's The Corbomite Maneuver. Episode 6, The Spy Humongous, takes the Cerritos back to Pakled space, specifically their homeworld of Pakled Planet. Various non-canon sources like Star Trek Online place it specifically in the Alpha Quadrant, which I've chosen to honor here as well. I originally thought I should put it in Sector 006, where the Pakleds are first encountered in TNG's Samaritan Snare, but then I remembered they were far from home. Episode 7, Where Pleasant Fountains Lie, depicts the Cerritos' assistance towards the flagship of Hesperia, a colony of humans who have based their society on Earth's Renaissance period. Hesperia's location is especially uncertain, and indeed, we don't actually see the planet in the episode. Episode 8, I Excretus, depicts the Cerritos crew undergoing various drills administered by a Pandronian instructor, but the episode doesn't give a location for any of this, so I'm drawing a direct line from Hesperia Hyperion space to the Cerritos destination in the next episode, Wedge Douge. While the ship is scheduled to conduct a planetary survey in the Kantaran system, instead the ship diverts to System 7743.8, where the Pakleds have detonated a Veruvian bomb, preceding another battle with the Pakleds that results in their retreat. Finally, Episode 10, First Contact, sees the Cerritos assist the USS Archimedes with first contact with the Lapirians, likely also near Pakled space, before Freeman is arrested for allegedly conspiring to blow up Pakled planet. Season 3 opens with Grounded, taking place on Earth, where Freeman's trial takes place as the lower deckers break onto the Cerritos to obtain further evidence to exonerate her. Episode 2, The Least Dangerous Game, sees an away mission go awry on Dulane. Its location uncertain, though it may be partway to the ship's destination in Episode 3, Mining the Mind's Mines, which is Genghis 4. Here, the Cerritos unravels manufactured animosity between Outpost 76 scientists and the native Scrubble to obtain more resources. Genghis 4's placement is not certain either, though I've decided to place it near Tulgana, as scientists from Outpost 76 have a booth on Tulgana 4 in Episode 5, Reflections. Before this, the Cerritos crew visits the health spa The Dove after an encounter with a Darcy archive, possibly near where a similar event happened in TNG's Masks. After updating the Federation consulate's power systems on Tulgana 4, the Cerritos visits Deep Space Nine to broker trade negotiations with the Karma in Hear All, Trust Nothing. On a stardate between this and Episode 7, the Cerritos visits Krolmuth B, where an away team conducts routine sensor readings on a time portal, as seen in the Strange New Worlds crossover episode, Those Old Scientists. Krolmuth actually has a canon location near Orion space, naturally, given the Orions' discovery of the portal. The system is also somewhat close to Setlik, near the Cardassian border. Towards the end of Episode 7, A Mathematically Perfect Redemption, the Cerritos retrieves the Exocomp Peanut Hamper from Areolis. Sometimes this show, I swear. Which is definitely near Kala, given Peanut Hamper's involvement in the events of No Small Parts. This stopover being somewhat out of the way actually works given the likely travel time to the Cerritos destination in Episode 9, Trusted Sources, which is the Delos system, after the crew has had some more fun with Crisis Point 2 Paradoxus. Ornara in the Delos system is the first stop as part of Project Swing By, proposed by Freeman in response to Starfleet's failure to check in on planets like Beta 3 over the course of many decades. The Ornarans were last seen in TNG's Symbiosis, and the Cerritos crew learns the species has shed its addiction to a drug manufactured by their neighboring planet Brekka, but Brekka has been invaded by the Breen. In my Mapping TNG video, I consciously placed Delos in the Beta Quadrant near the Romulan neutral zone, as places visited by the Enterprise in surrounding episodes, like Minos, were placed there by StarTrekMap.com. But given Minos' association with Minos Corva near the Cardassian border in Star Trek Section 31, I've decided to move Delos closer to Breen space, where I probably should have put it to begin with. Section 31 might be a dogshit film, but at least this map from it on Memory Alpha is fun to zoom in and out on. Look at it. Anyway, Episode 10, The Stars at Night, sees the Cerritos engage in a mission race to prove the California class's worth against the experimental Texas class. Their journey takes them from Douglas Station to update systems on Gallardon, scan the uninhabited planet LT-358, and deliver supplies to the planet Akhmenic 9 that shifts into our dimension a couple hours per year before the ship returns to Douglas Station. LT-358 and Akhmenic 9's location are speculative, though they're all likely within a few light years of Douglas Station and Gallardon. The Cerritos wins the race, but must prove itself once again after the Texas class attacks it, leading to the demise of the project, until Starfleet develops networked systems once again by the early 25th century, as seen in Picard Season 3. They never learn from history. Season 4 opens with Tuvix, in which the Cerritos escorts the USS Voyager from the Portello system to Earth, where it will be a museum. We don't exactly know where the Portello system is, but it might be somewhat near Beta Rigel, given Voyager's restoration is overseen by a Rigelian. Episode 2, I Have No Bones Yet I Must Flee, depicts the Cerritos' visit to Narge's miraculous menagenarium, where they are to retrieve 2 humans being held in captivity. The menagerie is in Federation space, and maybe near Pyrithia, given the Pyrithian swamp gobblers are the menagerie's most lucrative attraction. Episode 3, In the Cradle of Vexilon, sees the Cerritos update the operating system of Vexilon, the sentient computer that controls the environment of the Dyson ring Corazonia, a recent addition to the Federation. Located in a bespoke star system, Corazonia's location isn't totally clear, but it may be in the Alpha Quadrant given the Cerritos' destinations in subsequent episodes. In Episode 4, Something Borrowed, Something Green, while Mariner and T'Lyn accompany Tendi in search of her sister on Orion, the Cerritos studies a nebula that may be near the Chalnoth homeworld, which orbits Caus Borealis, or Lambda Sagittarii, 78 light-years away. This is near Angel 1, orbiting Alpha Gruis, 101 light-years away, from which the Cerritos escorts Betazoid diplomats and intelligent officers to Risa in Episode 5 and Pathological Fallacies. But before arriving at Risa, the ship temporarily takes a detour near the Romulan neutral zone after the Betazoids hijack the ship after their cover is blown. They're investigating the mysterious disappearances of ships across the quadrant, the prevailing arc of Season 4. Episode 6, Parth Ferengi's Heart Place, takes the Cerritos to Ferenginar to negotiate the planet's admission to the Federation before investigating another disappearance near Binar space in Episode 7, A Few Badgies More, when Boimler and Tendi visit Earth to follow up on a lead uncovered by the AI Agamus. Episode 8, Caves, takes place on Grotonus, where an away team is trapped in a cave and loses contact with the Cerritos. This apparently happens a lot, as the characters reference 3 occasions within supposedly the past few weeks, just like this one. These take place on Chiron 4, Balkus 9, and Glish, though I'm choosing not to chart those, as we have no frame of reference as to where those planets are, other than Chiron 4 being in the Alpha Quadrant due to its distance from Vendor Prime. But the presence of Vendorians towards the end of this episode encourages me to place Grotonus somewhat near Vendor, which is in Romulan territory. And in the 2-part season finale, starting with the inner fight, the Cerritos departs a research outpost on Perseoth 9, where Mariner's risk-taking behavior has reached an apex. Freeman sends her and the lower deckers on a mission to repair a space buoy near Sherbal 5, while the Cerritos investigates a lead on Nick Locarno's whereabouts on New Axton, which is twice as lawless as the old Axton, but without any of the charm. All of these systems placements are dubious, though they're likely in the Alpha Quadrant, somewhat near the Detrion system, home base of Locarno's Nova fleet as seen in Old Friend's New Planets. This system may be located near Orion, given the crew's visit to the planet to obtain a battleship that can penetrate the Detrion system's Trinar shield to save Mariner from Locarno. Season 5 opens with Dos Cerritos, in which the Cerritos encounters a quantum fissure to an alternate universe en route to Douglas Station. Episode 2, Shades of Green, sees the ship visit the new Federation world Targalis 9 to help facilitate their transition to a post-scarcity economy. Meanwhile, Tendi engages in a solar sail race against Blue Orions after they declare war on her house. Targalis 4's location is uncertain, though it's likely near Orion, as House Tendi, after losing their wealth, becomes the official waste removal service for the planet. It's also likely on the way to the Cerritos' destination in the next episode, the Best Exotic Nanite Hotel, which is the interstellar cruise ship Cosmic Duchess, by definition a moving object, though said to be the size of a small moon, where the crew investigates a nanite infestation. Episode 4, A Farewell to Farms, likely takes place near Kronos, as Mariner and Boimler visit Ma'ach to help reinstate his command, while the Cerritos transports Cloacan food critics from Praxin 4 to the Cloacan homeworld. The location of Episode 5, Starbase 80, is self-explanatory, Starbase 80 probably being near the Hiromi cluster given the large presence of Akamarians on the station. The station is also the closest Federation outpost to Piscis 9, an aquatic world where the crew goes on an away mission. Episode 6 of Gods and Angles takes the Cerritos to the Veriflex Nebula to host peace talks between two non-corporeal races, the Orbs and the Cubes. The placement of this nebula is hard to determine, as is the time-dilated planet Dilmer 3 from Episode 7, Fully Dilated, where Mariner, Tendi, and T'Lyn spend over a year after Boimler spills a Michelada on the transporter controls like a fucking idiot. Guess they had to have an inciting incident for the plot. But both of these may be on the way to Malman 5 and then Bungar 5, where the crew investigates an endangered species in Episode 8, Upper Decks. Bungar is in space patrolled by the Clickets, encountered by the Cerritos during their infiltration of Romulan space in Veritas. And finally, in the series finale, The New Next Generation, the ship travels near Klingon space, where another quantum fissure has erupted, and Starbase 80 is moved here after it stabilizes. Like I said, the placement of a lot of systems in this video is incredibly speculative, doing my best given context clues and my previous experience mapping locations in the other series. The route inevitably contains some mistakes, as I'm certain my other maps do, although I try to be as thorough as possible when making this map. And admittedly, there's only so much that I could do in 2 dimensions given space is 3D, meaning that by illustrating the map this way, I'm hitting up against the limitations of sources like star charts. A 16K render of Freeman's route, along with other systems visited or mentioned by the characters in Lower Decks, is also available for download by patrons and members at the $2 level and above. Links in the description. I also created a 3D Star Trek map a while back using an add-on for Blender, which is also available for patrons and members to download, though it doesn't contain certain key systems. But I'll likely update it as time goes on, and I'll keep y'all updated too. With that, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below and don't forget to share it. That stuff really helps me out. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that as well so you won't miss future uploads, and click the bell icon to receive all notifications. If you want to support my work even further, you can become a patron at patreon.com/OrangeRiver, link in the description, or become a YouTube member by clicking the join button on my channel page. By becoming a patron or member, you also get access to awesome perks like behind-the-scenes photos and videos, patron and member-only polls, name in the credits, merch discounts, and more. Or you can drop a one-time super thanks or PayPal donation, all are appreciated. Links to my PayPal, as well as my social media merch store, are in the description too. Also, just as a reminder, I do have a second channel, OrangeRiver Plus, where I've uploaded the VODs of lots of my gaming streams, with more on the way. And in addition to some other goofy one-offs and extra behind-the-scenes content, I've officially made it my second streaming platform, so be sure to subscribe there too, so you don't miss any new content. That's all I have for this week. Live long and prosper. Do you like merchandise? If so, head on over to the new and improved OrangeRiver merch store. That's right, OrangeRiver is now officially on Spreadshop. I've got a bunch of awesome new designs, including Vape God, Tally, aka Best Girl.
It was totally worth it.
And what is perhaps my greatest design yet,
I love being
being married to my husband.
Plus, I've got some of my classic designs like OrangeRiver Arrowhead, N7, and more. And there are even some new products like OrangeRiver hats. That's right, OrangeRiver hats now exist. Visit the link in the description to get discounts and other special deals on items from my store.